It was a typical Saturday afternoon when George, a middle-aged farmer from a small village, spotted an unusual sight at the edge of his property. Tangled in the net of an old football goalpost lay a frightened barn owl. Its wings flapped desperately, but the more it struggled, the tighter the net seemed to grip. George approached cautiously, his heart heavy as the bird's wide, terrified eyes locked onto his. With steady hands and a pair of scissors, he gently cut through the netting. The owl let out a feeble cry, too exhausted to resist. "You're safe now," George whispered, cradling the delicate creature in his arms. He noticed its left wing was injured, likely from its frantic attempts to free itself. George decided to take the owl home. Over the following weeks, he transformed his modest living room into a makeshift sanctuary. He named the owl Flicker, after the faint flicker of hope he saw in its eyes that day. Carefully, George cleaned its wounds and fed it small morsels of meat. Each day, Flicker grew stronger, and George found himself forming an unexpected bond with his new companion. One evening, as George sat by the fire with Flicker perched on a nearby stool, he reflected on the loneliness that had consumed his life after his wife passed away. "You've brought life back to this quiet house," he murmured, smiling at the owl. After a month, Flicker's wing had healed, and it was time to let it return to the wild. With a heavy heart, George carried it to the edge of the forest. As he opened his hands, Flicker hesitated, looking back at him for a moment before taking flight. George watched until Flicker disappeared into the twilight. Though the owl was gone, its presence had left a permanent mark on his heart, reminding him of the healing power of kindness and connection.